Hello, and welcome to Motivational Monday Healing with me, Paula, Grief Guru. Now, I want to talk today about communication. Communication is key to everyday life. We know that. But when we're grieving or dealing with a trauma, then our communication can get lost. And something gets lost in translation. We can't quite bridge that gap. We know what we want internally. We just don't know how to voice it, how to help people understand what we're feeling, what we're doing, what we're thinking. We can't quite help people understand what we need in that moment, because a lot of the times we don't know it ourselves. A lot of the times we're trying to understand our own internal communication. What is happening within our body? It's all over the place. You know, our thoughts may be doing one thing, but our feelings are doing something else, and our body is just doing its own thing. And we have no idea what's going on. Because when we're grieving, everything is affected. Everything is affected by grief. The way you think, the way you feel, the way you behave, your mind, body, spirit, absolutely everything. And if you don't heal all three, it's like putting a plaster on an open wound and hoping for the best, keeping your fingers crossed. Communication is valuable. It is necessary at the worst time of your life, when you really can't always be asked communicating. You can't always be bothered. You can't always have the ability. Some people, when they're grieving so badly, they go inward. They're in so much shock that they can't verbalize. They can't get across the necessary extent of their grief, of their trauma. And it's difficult because we as human beings, we watch everything. We look at everything when we're communicating. I'm talking to you, but I'm using a lot of body language. I like to use my hands when I'm talking. You know, I'm using a lot of facial communication. My cat behind me is communicating that she just wants to sleep and be left alone. She's tired after a night's hunting or whatever she's done, or possibly most likely just sleeping. We all have different ways of communicating, which is why when I work with clients, I show you different ways of communicating so that you can save your marriage, so that you can reconnect with yourself, so that you can reconnect with your friends and family. There are other ways of communicating. It's not just verbal, it's not just body language, although that helps. Sometimes we need something else to begin that process, and that is writing. I show you a variety of writing exercises that I've come up with over the years through trial and error to see what works, and I also intuitively channel in some writing exercises. Because when you start writing, you're using a different part of your brain. You are accessing an internal voice and you're bringing it outwards. You are creating that gap. You are starting that process of healing. So I ask you today, how are you communicating what you need to other people? But more importantly, what are you communicating to yourself what you need? Let me know in the comments. I'd love to know how you get on. And if you want to talk to me, if you want to find out how I can heal you completely, then hashtag call in the comments and we can have a chat. Take care.